Can we talk about those of us who make lists for everything? I think my lists have lists. At this point, I might actually be the queen of lists. I have grocery lists, to do lists, lists for other stores, for the week, for the month. And there are the emergency lists that I make when I can't find the original lists. I leave them everywhere, on the counter, on the table, in my purse, beside the bed, in coat pockets. Honestly, I need a list just to keep track of all my lists. It started innocently enough. A grocery list here, a reminder there, a little note to remind myself to do the thing I wrote on another note. Perfectly normal, completely under control. That was a lie I told myself for years. The truth is, at any given moment, there are no fewer than 7 active lists circulating throughout my house like unsupervised toddlers. Some are on paper, some are on my phone, some look like they survived a natural disaster. One summer, I held onto a grocery list for so long and so tight in the heat. By the time I unfolded it, it looked like I rescued it from a shipwreck. The paper was wet, the ink had spread into abstract art. I was standing in the cereal aisle trying to decode what appeared to be ancient hieroglyphics that I just wrote 40 minutes earlier. I'm pretty sure one item said bananas, or maybe bandanas? Hard to say. My lists don't actually keep me organized. They just give me more things to lose. The grocery list is where things really fall apart. I always start with good intentions. I add things all week long like a responsible adult who has her life all together, and then one of two things happens. Either I leave the list at home and wander the grocery store looking confused like someone who has never eaten food before, and I just start throwing random things in the cart based entirely on emotion. Oh, look, cinnamon buns. Those seem important. Or I actually remember the list and I bring it into the store. I feel victorious. And then somewhere between the parking lot and produce, it disappears. Gone. The store takes it. I don't know how. I don't know why, but apparently Walmart requires a list sacrifice before entry. So eventually I decided to modernize. I put the grocery list on my phone. Problem solved. The list can't melt, it can't blow away, and it's always with me. Except then I put the phone down while grabbing something off a shelf. And I remember this day really well because it was a tote. So I needed both hands for this rubber giant tote. And there it stayed right above the tote on the counter. Because apparently I can lose an entire phone just as efficiently as I lose paper. I once got all the way home with the groceries before realizing that I'd left my phone at the store. Thank goodness an employee saw what I had done and brought it to the front of the store when he couldn't find me. So when I did call the store, they still had it. Now my husband has discovered that my lists are everywhere, which means he has discovered what he considers to be a giant public sketch pad. He never adds helpful things like need milk. No, he turns my lists into comedy material. Any list left long enough unattended comes back altered. I once wrote on a cleaning list, super clean the bathrooms, which I meant deep clean them, really clean them. Apparently, my husband found this to be kind of funny and decided it needed to be edited. And underneath it, in giant letters, he added atomic clean, written by a man who found this hysterical and who would absolutely not be participating in the actual cleaning. And then there are the drawings. Yes, the drawings, little stick figures that he tends to draw, always dirty old man type stick figures in compromising positions, tiny, questionable characters lurking in the corners of my grocery list. And honestly, the man has the maturity level of a 12-year-old boy with access to a pen. And the worst part is, they're funny. I don't even want to laugh, but I'll finally find a list I've been searching for all day, and there's always a tiny old man in some gross position somewhere on the page, like where's Waldo? And you have to look for it because it could be at the bottom or the top or in the corner, like they're waiting for my reaction. Now I'm laughing in the middle of the kitchen by myself like a lunatic. The only problem is I can't let anyone in the store just see these drawings. So now I'm standing there trying to subtly tear off the bottom of the grocery list where I see this drawing in aisle 7, like I'm destroying classified government documents. Now we need to talk about this, the safe place. You know about the safe place. I'm sure you have one or two of them yourself. That magical location where you put things so you'll definitely remember where they are. I've never found a single thing I've put in a safe place, not once. The safe place is not safe. It's a black hole disguised as responsibility. Things currently living in safe places are warranties, gift cards, charger cords, reading glasses, receipts I need for returns. And that one always happens for me. It seems like that's the only one I can't find, and it's in that safe place, and probably my dignity. I once made a list to help me remember where I put things. Guess what? I lost the list. Honestly, that feels very on brand for me. Sometimes I'll tell my husband, don't worry, I'll put it somewhere safe. And he gives me that look that says, well, we'll never see that again. I had people suggest apps like whiteboards, organizational systems. I'm sure those are wonderful ideas. In fact, I wrote them all down somewhere. Can't find that either. But honestly, I think the lists are an important part of who I am now. Little paper breadcrumbs of good intentions scattered throughout the house. And somehow, over the years, they've become part of our marriage, too. My chaos mixed with his ridiculous drawings and commentaries scribbled in the margins. And weirdly enough, that's kind of beautiful. So if your counters are covered in lists, if you've ever lost your phone because the grocery list was on it, and if you ever put something important in a safe place and essentially donated it to another dimension, you're not alone. We are out here, organized in spirit, doing our best, laughing anyway. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go make a list of all the lists I need to find. I'll put it somewhere safe.